Hey everybody, welcome to the Simply Straight Talk channel. This is Reggie Maddox, and I hope you checked out the Simply Straight Talk podcast and the other stuff on this channel as well. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. Now, today, I just want to kind of talk about this little subject that popped up. There's a video going around about a young woman who's saying that she went on a first date with a guy. She was running behind on a few errands and stuff that she was doing. So when the guy got there, she was like, hey, let's run by McDonald's. I want to pick up some food for my daughter. So they go to McDonald's. She wanted to get a kid's meal. And I guess she expected the guy to pay for it. Now, she did say she had the money. She offered to buy him something, but she was upset that the guy didn't pay. So she said because he didn't pay for her daughter's kids meal, that he was not going to get any of the goods. He wasn't going to smash. He was not going to get any sex, and he was not going to get any of her stuff. Basically, y'all know what I'm talking about. He wasn't going to hit that ever, is what she said. Now, here's the question surrounding all this. But you know what? I'm gonna drop the video right here real quick. Y'all check out the video. It's not long. It's only like about a minute or two. Then I'm gonna come back with my comments.
This is why we talking prenuptials and shit. Yeah. On the first date, I had to get my daughter something to eat before he took me out. So I was like, can you run me by the McDonald's real quick? Because I'm running behind, woo woo. We get to McDonald's. All she got was her classic, a milkshake, 4-piece nugget, and a small fry. When the lady at the window asked for the bread,
he's like, where's that?
Yeah.
Nigga, you said run me through McDonald's real quick so we can nigga, you won't pay for it.
I'm sorry. Okay. I think that's the
already
right
that was
now.
the first problem.
That ain't no problem.
At that moment,
that's your problem.
Look, and it was at that moment. Now I had the
You
bread,
paid for the,
and I even asked him, did he want anything? But look, it was at that moment that I knew you were never getting this pussy.
Because he ain't pay for your daughter food.
Okay, now that you've seen the video, here's my thoughts, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts as well on this subject, because there's a couple things came to my mind when I heard this. It's like, you're going on a date with somebody. The first thing is when she said, I asked him, did he want anything? If you're going on a date, I'm assuming you're going to eat, or you're going to eat at some point. So I don't understand why you would eat at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? First things first, if she was running behind on the things she was doing, why not call the guy and say, hey, listen, I know we're supposed to meet in 30 minutes, but I need to make sure I get my daughter something to eat and get her situated. Can you pick me up in like 15 minutes later? Instead of 8 o'clock, can you meet me? Let's do it at 8:30. That'll give me time to make sure my daughter's situated. Any man is going to understand, real man that is. But I think anybody will understand that, okay, you know, she needs to make sure her daughter's taken care of. I totally get that. So if she needed to run to McDonald's and grab something for her daughter and come back to feed her daughter, anybody would totally understand that. Now, I'm not sure how old her daughter was. So was she leaving her with a babysitter? Was she leaving her with a friend? Because I'm thinking if you're getting your daughter a kid's meal, then she has to be somebody that can't stay home alone. So was somebody at home with her daughter who could have ran out and picked up the food or prepared food for her daughter? But my point being is that I think she could have actually just called the guy and say, listen, I'm running behind. I need to get my daughter situated. So, you know, let's hold off for 30 minutes. Give me 30 more minutes and I'll be ready and we'll be set to go on the date. The next thing was this for me. You know, is this something that she does to every guy as a test? Now, I'm not saying she's a bad woman, but is this her test with every man to see that if he's going to buy her daughter a meal? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, is this something she does with every date, or was it just this one particular date? And I get it. When you go out with somebody, you want to make sure that you're getting somebody that, especially if you're thinking like, okay, well, this can work out. But it's the first date. It is the very first date. So do you think it's appropriate to actually have somebody doing that type of thing on the first date, because you know what, women, let me say this, and I want y'all to hear this and understand that I'm saying this as a something to kind of trigger your mind to think, because just like women feel like when they go out on dates, a lot of men play games and do things, and the woman feel like, okay, men always do this. Yes, I've heard men do this before. You got to realize that men have experienced the same thing, you know, and it is sort of off-putting. You know, it's off-putting when somebody is automatically coming in saying, my child needs this, because a man is going to think, now some men won't mind. Let me say that. Some men won't mind. They'll be like, okay, let's go ahead and get her a child's meal. But the thing about it is, when you start bringing the child in on the first date, he's never met the child. He may know you have a child. But when you start bringing that in on the first date, just like other things that you say men have done in the past to you that sends off a red flag, this may send off a red flag to men. You know, is it just a Happy Meal now? She tested me now, and next week is going to be something bigger. It's going to be something different. That's the thing. And I think women, you have to think about that. You really got to think about the fact that, I'm letting the TV distract me. You really got to think about the fact of men experience gains from women just like women experience gain from men. So for some men, that could be a red flag. It could be a red flag. Now, the other thing is this. You know, when you're going on a first date and you're meeting somebody, it's hard enough for single parents to, you know, kind of go on dates, because they do have to make special arrangements, you know, especially when the child is of a certain age. But do you really want to put that pressure on somebody on the first date? Because here's the thing. You can there's certain things a person may say, wow, if she wants me to pay for her child's meal, is she looking at this as being something serious already and we just met? Because some people will have that mindset. If I'm doing something for you and your children, then, you know, you're seeing this as something that's a little more serious than what I'm kind of thinking it is. So you got to think about that. So sometimes you really have to think about how the other person is going to perceive something. And that's why I'm really big on communication. And like I said before, she should have just communicated that she needed more time. She should have communicated the fact of, hey, when you pick me up, are you okay if we run to McDonald's? I'm going to pay for my daughter's meal and then we'll come back. And give the man the opportunity to say, you know what, let's go get it. Because some men, if you say that, they might be like, I got it. Don't worry about it. You want me to pick it up on the way? You know what I'm saying? Some men would probably say that. You know, it's like, well, you know, how about I just pick it up on the way? Tell me what you want. I'll pick it up. And that way when we get there, she can have her food. And you're not having to run back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways it can be handled, but sometimes it's how you initiate something. And I think the way she initiated that, it does kind of send a red flag. But now, ladies, let me ask you this. And men, tell me if y'all agree if we flip the script. If we flip the script now, what if a man said, hey, you know, if a man picks you up, y'all going out to eat, and he says, you know what, I need to grab my daughter something or my son something to eat. You know, we can stop at McDonald's real quick and we're just going to run it back and then we'll be on our way. And then he asks you, hey, you want something from McDonald's? How many women would be okay with that? Now, some would, but some would be on the same mindset of what I said earlier. Like, he asked me, did I want something from McDonald's? Was he trying to take me to McDonald's? Was McDonald's his plan the whole time? How many women would have paid if y'all was in the driver's seat? Let's say you decided it was the first date and I prefer to drive and be in control of where we go. So you drive. Now, he's got a car, but you decide you want to drive because you want to be in control of how things go because it's the first date, don't know each other that well. So y'all meet, park, y'all go. How would you feel about that? Would y'all feel okay if a man said that he wanted to grab something for his daughter? You sitting in the driver's seat, would you pay? Or would you still say for him to pay? And if he asked you, did you want something? Would you think like, oh, he's trying to feed me now so I don't eat a lot later? Is this supposed to be the date going to McDonald's? Is this some type of game? So how would women feel if it was reversed and a man did that? I'm really curious about that. How would you feel? And see, I didn't think that's the thing about dating, is that sometimes we have these expectations that don't make any sense. And I think her expectations really made no sense. And I think it really showed that she's maybe not good at planning. She's maybe not good at organization or thinking things out. Because I know if it was me, I would have just called, like I said, I would have asked the person for a little more time to make sure my child is situated. But if you in that much of a hurry to get on a date, I don't understand. I really don't understand. So I'm trying to, I was trying to see her point in all this, but the more I think about it, I see all of the ways she could have made this situation go better. And I can understand why the guy probably saw her as a red flag. Now, the fact that she put her vagina as a stipulation for buying a Happy Meal, now she wasn't saying that he was going to get it that night. She said he'll never get it. So if they would have went on 10, 15 dates, because he didn't buy that one Happy Meal for her daughter, he was never going to be able to have sex with her. But the fact that that was the stipulation. But women, when y'all do that, you wonder why men feels, well, I'm not saying all men, you wonder why some men say, I am not going to, if I spend this much money, I'm expecting sex. I don't agree with that. But when you hear women like her say, he's never going to get this good stuff because he didn't buy that Happy Meal. So you basically put, what, how much is a Happy Meal? $4.99 or $5.99 dollar value on your stuff? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to think about the expectations that you put on people, especially if they don't know what your expectations are. If they don't understand that this is a stipulation as far as being able to go out with you, that if I don't do this one thing, all of a sudden now I'm a cheat man, I'm a bad man, I'm not a good man, I'm not worth dating. So you got to be careful about these expectations and creating false labels on people, because sometimes that's what you do. If that's your stipulation, that if you go out on a date and you determine that this person has to buy your child food, let that person know up front. Hey, yes, I will go out on a date with you, but part of the first date requirements are you have to buy my kid's meal. I mean, be upfront about it. Don't play games about it, because you're going to be sending a red flag. You're going to be sending a red flag. And your child, this is the first date. Your child should not even be a part of this first date. It's cool. He knows, hey, yeah, he got a child. It's cool. Yeah, I have a child. He has a child. She has a child. I'm a single father, single mother. That's cool. The person is cool to know that. But putting stipulations on what a person is obligated to do on the first date, I don't know about that. Now, what would I have done? Let me answer that honestly. I would have paid. Call me a simp. Call me whatever. Because I may not know the woman's situation. Because my thing is not even about her. I'm thinking about the child. I'm like, well, dang. Is she struggling? Is the child not able to eat? You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind goes. Like, is she unable to really get food? Is the child sitting at home hungry? That's where my mind goes. It don't go on the woman. I can care less about her. So I can I can buy the child's meal, and if I'm uncomfortable with it, like, hey, make sure your child get this. I want her to eat, and we'll go out on a date next time. Take care of your child. My mind would go to the child. It's not about sex. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because when you mention that, my child needs something to eat, or I need to get my child something to eat, my mind automatically goes, the moral and soul in me is like, wow, okay, well, the kid needs to eat. So I will pay for the meal. Call me what you want. I'm just not, I am who I am. And if you don't like it, tough, whatever. But that's me. I would have paid for the meal. Now, I'm saying that every time we go somewhere, I'm ended up buying meals. But I can sort of understand. I understand my mindset may not be the same as other men. Some men may be like, oh, no, you ain't finna play the okie doke on me. Like I said, I might do it one time. But until we get to the point to where I've met the child and there is some, relationship building, and I know me and her are building on something, and yes, it's a legitimate relationship, then I want to be more active with her because I'm planning on making her a part of my life and the child a part of my life. But if it's just out the box and we don't even really know each other, and this is like a little thing a person like that does all the time, yeah, I'm not really feeling that. I ain't feeling that. So to sum it up, honestly, I feel like she's playing games, and I think she's done this. Now, this is just my opinion. I personally believe that this is something that she probably does on a lot of dates. This is her way of testing men. I think it's stupid. I think it's inconsiderate. And I think it shows who she may be as a person. Now, if a man chooses to pay for a meal, if he goes out, I don't say that man's a simp. I don't say he's a wimp. I think that some men will actually be like me and think about, dang, what's going on? Can the child eat? Does she have groceries? Now, I ain't finna go buy no groceries. But if that child needs something that night, I have no problem paying for that child to get a kid's meal. But I am going to be a little more focused on like, okay, is this going to become a pattern? The next time we go out, if she asks the same thing, now we got a problem. Because I'm going to ask you some questions like, hey, do you have food at the house? Can your child, are you having money issues, food issues? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this too depends on the age of the child, which I never really got. But I'm just thinking when you say a kid's meal, I'm thinking a child that's maybe 10 and under. You know what I'm saying? I'm just guessing, but that's my thoughts. Hey man, y'all drop down in the comments, man, and tell me what y'all think about this. Tell me, do you think she was wrong for asking him to pay? Should he have paid for the kid's meal? What's your assessment of this situation? And if you was going out on a date and you knew your child needed something to eat, how would you have handled it? All right. Hey, don't forget, y'all check out the Simply Straight Talk podcast, man. New shows drop every Friday. Y'all check it out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Share this with everybody else, man. Let's get more people talking about this, and let's figure out a way we can work it out and make it better for everybody. Peace.